Howdy folks, the deck you see in front of you is a blue-black control deck that's a slight modification of the one that I played for the previous set championship, and I figured that since there is an arena qualifier weekend in, I suppose that's not the name, set championship qualifier weekend? Something like that. In about 2 weeks, apparently, already, that is going to be historic, that this would be a decent jumping off point to try to relearn what the historic meta looks like, because I sort of understand how this deck works. So we're starting off here. It is a blue-black control list that tries to take advantage of Lier as a card advantage engine. It plays lots of low-cost removal and hand hate that ideally turns into card advantage with Lier very efficiently later on. You gotta just wait until you get to 6 mana before you play Lier. In addition, with all the early removal and hand hate, it enables you to play 4 copies of Drowned Loch, which together with Archmage's Charm give you a lot of very efficient counter spells for very little mana. And then rounding out the rest of the deck is mostly just some small numbers of cards that help give you advantage in different matchups. Kaervek is super useful as basically a pseudo board wipe against a lot of different combo and aggressive decks in the meta right now that rely on 1 toughness creatures that Kaervek just totally shuts off. There's a green-white Heliod Squirrels company deck with Scurry Oak that just literally can't do anything if Kaervek's in play. It's quite fun. I recommend giving it a try and seeing how much you enjoy that. The biggest change to the deck is that I cut some of the random other spells to play 2 copies of Sorin. Similar to what I've been doing with different control decks in Standard lately. Turns out that a Planeswalker that can be card advantage and that can also make lifelinking creatures that are very good at being defensive, pretty good. I'm uncertain whether it's going to be good enough in the long run against Phoenix. 2/3s trading with Phoenixes are kind of nice, and having chump blockers available is kind of cool, but it's not really the optimal way to kill a Phoenix that just gets to come back. But it does give you chump blocks on Drakes, and chump blocking answers to 10 power Drakes can buy you a lot of time if you're at 10 life. So we'll see where this goes, but for the most part, really playing this to kind of get an idea for the meta because it's something I'm comfortable with. And we'll see if the meta in Historic is still at a place that this is a strong way to attack it. Especially if the meta strongly favors aggro decks like it did back then. I haven't seen as much mono white, but we'll see. Could be that there's other aggro decks that are very weak to this too.